Now, there is something huge about to hit the cryptocurrency market this week, and in particular, watch out for a move on XRP. We're going to break down exactly why this is, and ultimately what we think the price prediction could be by the end of this week. But if I was to tell you there is $16 billion about to flow into the cryptocurrency market, would that shock you? Well, FTX payments are here, but what does it mean for XRP? We'll break all of it down in this video, so make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss a beat with the latest news, reviews, technical analysis, altcoins, meme coins, and everything else you need to make sure that your portfolio is stacked this bull market. That being said, let's get into this video. So before we get into the whole FTX information, I wanted just to touch on XRPL and more importantly, the XRP performance over the course of the last week. Now, the XRPL ecosystem is growing. We're seeing huge adoption with top tier cryptocurrencies really starting to see a move. Now, remember, we're in a pretty rough time right now in the markets, consolidating around 97,000. We're seeing a downtrend from that 108 breakout, but what we are seeing on XRPL is a surge. Such coins as Sologenic and Cararium up over 21%. This is highlighting that there is significant growing momentum for XRPL based on assets outpacing things like Polkadot and many, many more. You only have to take a look at the price chart for XRP to understand exactly what's on the charts. But it's ultimately built, as we always say, low cost cross-border payments and to tokenize assets. This is important. A decentralized XRPL blockchain with a built-in decentralized exchange, trust lines for asset insurance, and sidechains for expanded functionality. The expansion of this ecosystem is huge. NFT support, smart contract integration, DeFi applications, all gaining transaction. XRPL is sat for a big move, and I've been talking about this probably for the last 12 to 18 months. We also see XRP performing its biggest breakout since 2024, showing significant strength in the market, holding around 274, looking to retest that $3 price range. And what do we need to get there? Well, holding above the 50-day exponential moving average is a key part, as well as rallying in the imminent short term. Successfully suppressing the 50-day exponential moving average historically functions both support and resistance, ultimately does suggest a positive breakout. Now, in order to break certain resistance levels or to break a trend, what do you need? Well, you need an injection of capital, and you need an injection of significant amounts of capital. Let's talk about $16 billion worth of injection of capital that could be coming. Now, the first stage due to be released on Tuesday is around $7 to $8 billion. This could then unlock pretty quickly, and as it goes through, could also be very important. Lots of people are expecting a massive move, and in fact, a huge influx into many altcoins out there. The actual distribution of Bitcoin wasn't too crazy on FTX. In fact, why don't we just take a look at what else? Here is the portfolio for FTX as it was at the point in which it collapsed and with kind of rolled forward price action. Well, guess what? We already know Solana, one of the top tier coins that they were holding, with Bitcoin around $2 billion at the point in which it came in. And then look, here's where it gets super interesting. XRP, they were holding roughly $621 million worth of XRP. Well, imagine this. Imagine you were someone that bought XRP. Imagine you have it locked up in the FTX exchange and you now have the opportunity to go and buy it again. Are you bullish on altcoins or not? And I think here's the question. If you were bullish on cryptocurrency back when FTX collapsed, you have probably written this money off. You probably don't even think you're going to get this money back. And I think this is the kicker. This is the caveat where we could absolutely see a huge amount of money coming back into the candle. Lots of people predicting that we are going to see a strong move, and even people predicting that the FTT token might see some positive uptrend. I am absolutely, after the whole Argentinian president rugging us, not getting involved with FTT token. But what I am getting involved in, as we always say, is XRP. And XRP is forming a very nice chart right now. We've been talking about this pattern, this uptrend as we come in, breaking some key resistance levels and heading on up to this level. We talked about this yesterday at around $3 to $3.05. This is the key level that I'm looking for. And I think if we are up and around this range, get ready. We could even be heading on to retest those high ranges of 370, maybe even a $4 XRP very soon. Caveat that to what's happening in the White House, the expectation of some more decentralized news, and David Sachs talking this week about cryptocurrency as a whole could even ignite the market further. So imagine a $16 billion injection of capital, while at the same time, you've got the cryptocurrency czar for the US administration saying, hey, we're interested in what Bitcoin could do. We're interested in innovation when it comes to cryptocurrency. This could be the catalyst we need. This could be the final push to break out of this downtrend on Bitcoin that we have been seeing now since that top here of around 109,500. Again, holding some decent levels, but looking for that breakout. Consolidation range within this right now is pretty much on the point. XRP though, holding a very different pattern as this comes through. So get ready, $7 to $8 billion coming in, 600 to $700 million of XRP were on the portfolio. What does that look like? Do people even come out of Bitcoin and start to maybe pivot into XRP? Could be wild. Tuesday, we're going to be covering all of this on this channel. And don't forget my live stream, 4 p.m. Eastern, every single day. You guys can get dialed in on the cryptocurrency market. Until then, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.